you're looking for witnesses, none to be found. Organ music from a church down the street made eerie sound.
Oh, shit. Oh, music was playing. I didn't mean to have the music on that long. They always jack about my background music, even though I'm friends with that band, and they said I could play that music. So yo, what's up? It's live with Revradchad. It's Monday night. Monday night, yo. That's what we call it. Monday night, yo. No, this is I'm just saying, Revradchad. Thank you for coming. And yeah, so the world's gone mad, man. That's the discussion for today. The world's gone mad. Everywhere I look, everybody's gone mad. Like a beard hair on there. Everywhere I look, the world's gone mad. Everybody's gone mad. The influences have gone mad at each other. The sides have gone on full attack of each other. Everything. Everywhere you look. Cities, countries all over the world in turmoil. You know, these are signs that the world has worked itself near the end. I mean, if these aren't end time signs, then nothing is. You know, what are we doing? We're teetering on the brink of destruction. We're going to have war with we have war with each other. We have drugs. Suicide rates are enormous. We have obesity. We have people that intentionally harm themselves because they don't like other people. I mean, we've got groups of people shaving their head because they want the other group to be mad at them. Like, I could care less if anybody shaves their head, paints their head, dyes their head. I could just ignore it. It would never matter to me. But as we look around, the world's gone mad around us. You know, those of us that just work and live normal lives, go to work, pay the bills, and and get the groceries and do normal things, probably don't see a lot of it directly. But these people are absolutely lost their mind. I don't get on the internet and talk about current events. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I don't get on the internet and talk about current events and stories of what other people are talking about. But in general, the world has gone mad. And the influencers I've been seeing on everything that I turn on, Instagram or YouTube, it's all hate towards each other. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One group's hating, threatening death. The other group's pointing out how much the other group's pointing out death. It's all the same thing. It's division. It's division. There's two groups. They're not really two groups. They're one group. There's one group of oligarchy rich jacks at the very top of all of it. They want the two groups so that we stay fighting so they can keep doing whatever they're doing. What happened? We showed millions of dollars in fraud. What'd they do? They blew a smoke bomb. They used the death. They blow it up all over the news. What happened? They're about to release the Epstein. We attacked Venezuela. Blow it up all over the news. It's division. It's tactic. It's the world gone mad. There's no truth in it. There's no justice. No one's ever going to get what they want. You'll see little tiny bits and pieces from whichever side you like. That's all you'll ever see. You'll never see one side gain total victory and happiness. It'll never happen. Because in order for that to happen, that would mean that side would have to take out the other side completely. And as much as everybody likes to talk like that, that's not fucking reasonable. Excuse my French. It's not reasonable. We're not going to take out each other to solve our problems. You know, we're not going to have civil war and burn down our cities just so that we can be mad about stupid shit. You know, it's the world gone mad. It's like, well, what are you really mad at? Are you mad that that person's succeeding? Why don't you cheer them on, and then maybe you'll be more inclined to succeed yourself because you see the happiness of someone else's success. But if we spend all of our time bashing everybody else's success to keep them from gaining it, you don't get any success from that. All you get to do is live in your negative, miserable bullshit. So, I'm the Revradchad. I'm just saying. If I could come from, broken home streets, living like a thug most of my life, to being, trying my hardest to live in the grace of God and in the eyes of positivity, then anybody could learn that. Anybody could learn that. I've got friends that have died from drugs, you know, couldn't stop them, couldn't help them, couldn't save them. My ex-wife died of a drug overdose of oxycodones. You know, it's terrible. The sadness, the loss. Hello, thank you all as well. It's unbearable, and it's all caused by the division we have against each other. Your kid's different. He's got weird hair. Just bring him back in the house, man. The more you ostracize each other, the more you create this split line. The more you create this split line, the more everybody wants to hurt each other. The world's gone mad. Once the world's gone all the way mad, there's no coming back. Once these guys at the top start firing all the rockets and pushing all the buttons, nothing that a small people want or care about will matter. And it's really just that simple. We have to, I say this all the time, we have to find space to talk to each other. You have to allow the other person to be them, even if you don't like them. Just let them be them. I live in an RV park, and my favorite thing about RV parks is there's like this unspoken rule: nobody bothers the other RV. Nobody in the park bothers the other RV. I've been in the same park for 6 months, and only one time has anyone ever knocked on the door, and it was the manager looking for someone else. So if you could do that in your regular neighborhood, mind your business. When I see the police arresting or doing anything that's their job, that's their job. We as civilians do not have the right to impede the police, to impede the military, to impede the government. We don't have that right. We have lots of other rights, but we don't have that right. We can petition them and we can make them stop doing shit if we get together as a group and put our voices together. But we do not have the right to go out and stop any type of people in any kind of law enforcement or in any kind of civic regard. We don't have that right or power. That's why we put them in that power. You look out the window and you see them doing that, you stay out of it. Easiest way not to have any problems. Hello, how you doing? So, the world's gone mad, and it's like you have to look at it like this. Are you one of the mad people? Do the decisions you make daily, does your behavior daily put you in the mad people category? Do you freak out in line? Can you not wait your turn? Is everything a tragedy if they ran out of an item? If the police pull you over, do you have a mental meltdown? These are the things that prove whether you're mentally capable and stable as a human being, is how you live through the simple day tasks. It doesn't matter what house you live in, what cars you have, what money you have, how your social media is. None of that shit matters. What matters is, how do you deal with regular everyday life? Can you handle it? Can you handle a flat tire? Can you handle an inconvenience? Or do you melt down? Because if your answer is meltdown, then what that actually says is that in here, you do not have the mental brain capacity to operate a daily life. And for those people, I feel very sorry. I feel very sorry. But it's like, do you understand the world in front of you? Do you understand that old person walking slow walks slow because they're old? And one day you'll be old and you'll walk slow and you don't want that young kid behind you pushing you through the store? I mean, come on, man. Nope. Never go to prison. I've never gone to prison. I've done some overnights in jail growing up as a young man, some as a juvenile, but I've never done the kind of things that put me in prison. You know, sometimes it can be misfortune, but usually it's the company you keep, it's the circumstances you're in, even if it's not your fault. Sometimes it's the people that you hang around. And as I grew up, I tried to stay away from that as much as I could. I mean, I did spend, 20 years riding around with thugged out bikers, and I'm sure that any one of those circumstances could have ended in something bad, but it has everything to do with your choices, your daily choices. Sure. Did I get in fights? Absolutely. Did I walk away from fights? Absolutely. Not everything is worth fighting for. Not everything is going to bring you a resolution. Not everything you think that you can control will you get an outcome. It's just like these crazy idiots in the streets. They're not getting any outcome. All they're doing is making ruckus. They're not getting any outcome. It's like the people who go to the art gallery and throw paint on the paintings. They don't get any outcome. Nobody stopped doing whatever they wanted them to stop doing. The green agenda didn't go on because they painted the Mona Lisa. So it's that brain power thing that I was talking about. Do you have the common sense to understand how to walk through your day to make it easier for you? I'm not telling you to walk through this world and make it easier for everyone else. I'm saying walk through this world and make it easier for you. Make decisions that make your life easier. If you don't want to have problems when you're in the store, don't steal anything. No one will confront you. No one will hassle you. No one will bother you. If you want hassles and you want problems, steal stuff. Thank you. Yes, common sense is very rare. And I think people have it. They just stopped using it because we stopped talking about it. We stopped talking about it. We just use the phone, we Siri it, we AI it, and we ask somebody else for their opinion. Hey, Alexa, what's the truth? And then she answers the answer. It's a world gone mad. We've stopped using our own brains. And when we stop using our own brain, which is the most powerful thing we have, well, second most powerful thing we have, the very first most powerful thing, and a lot of people get mad, and usually there's not too many people to run away from the room, so it's not sad, is God. If you have God and you have faith, and then you use your brain, you can get anywhere you need to in this world. I believe in God. 100%. I've seen so many amazing things on this planet that verify what I believe over and over and over and over. I've seen so many events, so many people, so many circumstances. I could list them until you guys puked. And you'd be like, no way. And I am perfect example of the fact that God gives grace. The young man that I was, the way I behaved, how I handled myself, the fact that I get to be well into my 50s and healthy and alive and safe and still able to work and live. I praise God for that, myself personally. I don't tell anybody else what to believe, and I've never been that way. I know you're supposed to, if you're a true hardcore Christian, you're supposed to try to change other people like Charlie did. But I feel like there's people like Charlie to do that. I'm not here for that. I'm here for someone that actually believes, that wants to lean on it. I'm here for someone that actually understands and believes and thinks that there's value in it. I'm here for those people. I'll read the book to you. I'll talk to you. I'll share the scripture with you. The people that aren't going to listen, I'm not going to walk up to a gay pride parade with a microphone and try to preach Jesus to them. They don't want it. It's not there. It's not for that purpose. I would hope some. I would. I say this. I said this on a show like a month ago. If everything I did brought one person, then it's more than nothing. And I could only ask the grace of God if I could get one person that was struggling, that was hurting, that didn't understand how much that the Bible could save them, help them, fix them. And it's not just the Bible. It's what is said. It's the story. It's the word. It's living in the word. You read that word. You don't interpret it. You don't get the book out and start reading your opinion of it and how you see it. You get that out and you read that and what it says, the words that it says. When you see the clips that I post up here, I read word for word. Don't interpret words. I use what the meaning is, or like the key word, like if we're talking about alcohol or sex or fools or whatever, I'll use that keyword, but I'll read the word exactly how it's written, because that's the only way it works. Once you start interpreting it, you become these modern people who pick their own idols. They're not worshiping Jesus Christ. They're worshiping the God that they've chosen, the way that they agree with it. You know, that's what atheism is. Atheism is you being able to convince yourself that you're nothing is safe. So the reality of it is the world's gone mad. And there will be end times. And we will see. We may not see it. It might be 50 years. It might be 10 years. It might be 5 years. It might be tomorrow. You never know. But there always is end times. And even if it's not end times for all kinds of people, it can be end times for small amounts of people in big times. You know, tsunamis, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes. Those are all crazy, mysterious powers that mankind has yet to ever, other than view it in the sky, tell you why or where or how, because they can't predict them. They know they come back the same time every year because they've come back every year for hundreds of years. They can't predict any of that shit. They don't know anything. They don't know anything until the radar picks it up in the sky. If God decides to make a radar cloud in the sky so big that he's wiping out a continent, and all of a sudden it's on the news, yeah, that continent's getting wiped out. Mankind is not in charge. And that's why the world's gone mad, because mankind thinks they're in charge. White liberal American women think they're in charge of every single aspect of the world. Who can go to war? Who can't go to war? What cars can be driven? Who drove the car? How tall people can be? How short they can be? How fat is normal? And hey, by the way, just in case anyone's wondering, fat is not normal. Fat is not healthy. Fat is obesity, is death. I have many fat relatives, and I've lost many of them, because obesity and diabetes is real, and people die to that stuff. So I'm just saying, looks like I talked about God a little too long and everybody ran away. So yo, what's up? Let's get some people back in here. Come on. Yeah. The world's gone mad. The world has gone crazy, and you can see it every day, everywhere you go. You can see it everywhere you go. You can see it in the store. You can see it in the lines. You could see it in traffic. The easiest, you don't even have to leave your house. All you have to do is turn on this thing in front of you, and you see total chaos in every direction, you know, in every city, in every country. The world's gone mad because we stopped using a moral base for life. 90% of people live their life based off of money and the money value that they have or make. You know, Here's the thing. If you make everything about your personality, or everything about your sexuality, or everything about your outward identity, then the problem is whenever the world has anything against that identity, you take that personal and want to go to war over it. Not everything is personal. Hey, have a good night, bud. Thanks for coming. Not everything's personal. Not everything's directed at you. Not everybody's trying to harm you specifically. You can't attribute to ignorance, or you can't attribute something to malice that could just simply be ignorance. They're not trying to harm you. They're not trying to make your day bad. They just ignorantly didn't notice they were. So you can't always take offense to everything, and you can't always be the victim. That's why we have the world of chaos. Everybody's a victim. What we need more Rittenhouses. We need less victims. We need more people to stand and be strong. Don't cry. Don't stand in line and beg. Go earn. Try. Put effort. And don't freeload on a system that you want to hate because you're trying to pretend to hate the thing that's carrying you. If you want to hate the system, then don't be part of it. That's why those people live out on farms and homesteads, is because they're proving that they don't want to be part of the system. You don't get to be the victim and use the system for your defense at every beckon and turn, and then claim to be some kind of radical or against, or some kind of defender of freedom. So real freedom comes from independence. Independence, meaning you independently take care of yourself, and that builds self-esteem, and self-esteem builds momentum, and then you get more things done. When you sit around and cry and complain and blame everybody and play the victim, your self-esteem takes a hit. And when you're busy blaming the other side and they're busy attacking you back, your self-esteem takes a hit. The more your self-esteem takes a hit and you get lost inside your sadness and your emotions, then you got depression. Then you got alcohol abuse. Then you got drugs. You got gambling. You got sex addicts. It's all decisions. It's all decisions. It goes back from the very beginning. Are you making crazy decisions? You have to ask yourself every single day, what kind of decisions do you make every day? If your life is filled with chaos, you probably make a lot of chaotic decisions. I'm just saying. I'm the Revradchad. That's what I do. I just say. I'm not going to talk about current events. I'm not going to talk about people. I'm not going to talk about names. I'm not going to talk about influencers. But I will say I see a lot of influencers hating on each other. Yeah, a lot of infighting. A lot of in-the-window messages where they're back and forth picking on each other. And that doesn't help anything. I mean, when you're in your own group and you start dividing, you just divide your own people more. So I say it all the time, man. All this division, all this internet hate, all this chaos, all this self-victimization, all this depression. These are all things you could change by behavior. You're depressed, go to the gym. I guarantee if you're depressed and you get up every single day at 7 a.m. in the morning and go to the gym for an hour, you won't be depressed after a month of doing that, because you won't even realize it. You'll just not be, because you'll be busy doing something, and you'll be putting forth effort, and you'll be gaining momentum with positive energy, or go for a walk, or read a book every day, do something instead of claim victimhood. That's all I'm saying. Yo, anybody else out there? I think I ran and raved long enough that I think a lot of people left. But what do you think? You think the world's going crazy or no? You know, it looks like it's going crazy. It looks out the window everywhere we look, it's crazy. People screaming and yelling in the grocery stores. Videos of people assaulting each other everywhere. Videos of people screaming and yelling at each other with megaphones 1 inch from each other's faces. People with signs. People with protests. You know, it looks like total chaos. End times. Negative energy. People being negative. Too much division. Division happens from self-loathing. When you are so upset with yourself that you have to focus on things others are doing to keep from focusing on yourself, it's because you're upset with yourself. It's that simple. Depression isn't caused by outside events in the world. It's caused by your mindset. It's caused by the decisions that you make with your mind. And people can say whatever they want. They could clinically say whatever, but 100 years ago, there was no such thing as depression. Your kid was acting weird and stupid and sitting in his room. You put him outside to bale some hay or clean the cow pen or something. You know, that's a new thing. That's a modern day, and especially in America, we have a million sicknesses with a million pills because pharmaceutical companies get rich off that shit. You know, it is a crazy world. You don't want to be part of it. If you take the crazy pills, it'll make you dangerous. You don't know that, and they won't tell you that, but that's the truth. Think of it like this. If you had 100 people, and you got a blue pill, a green pill, a red pill, you had 6, 7, 8 colors of pills, and you can get every single person on there, whether they're too high to come to the middle or too low to come to the middle or too in the middle to come to the top, and you try to get them all on some color pill that brings them all down into the middle where you can control them. Or even, realistically, what they try to do is bring you down just a little below the middle. Down just a little bit below the middle on all the medicines so that everybody feels just a little bit beat up. Keep you a little bit sick, keep you a little bit fat, keep you a little bit angry, keep you a little bit unhealthy. Yeah. So when they do that and you fall for it, you're these people you see all over the internet, screaming and yelling and crying, 100 pounds overweight, 10 things in their face, can't get a job, don't understand why. It's because they conditioned you to be that way. You can break that mold. You can be whatever. You can step right out of that. You can stop watching the mass media. You can stop eating off the spoon of lies. What you have to do is think independently on a daily basis. In your daily life actions. Those become bigger and stronger than your monthly actions, your yearly actions. Because if you can't behave daily, you definitely can't behave monthly. If you can't not drink today, you can't get to a month of not drinking. So you have to be in control of your behavior. And your emotions are your behavior. The bullshit ideology of your emotions aren't your behavior, that's for medicine to control. And that's absolute nonsense. And that's why we had insane asylums for 80 years. 100 years, 200 years, whatever, however long we had them. That's why we had them. Is because the people who pretended like they needed something every day to make them reasonable, they got put somewhere. So they're trying to make you a zombie. They want you to be a zombie. They want you to follow the zombie world. Live the zombie life. Stand in the middle, not at the top, not at the bottom, because you don't get anything done at the bottom. They want you in the middle. Maybe just like I said, just a little below the middle. They want you at like 40, 45%. They don't ever want you any higher than that. In the mathematical society, they don't want you any higher than that. They want you at the 40 to 45% range. So you could almost feel good, but never too good. So you never uprise. That's why if you take the same medicine forever, you'll always have to stay on that keel. You'll never get to be happier. You'll never get to feel your sads. So you'll never know how you feel. You'll always be on the keel where they need you because you'll be in the emotional control. Because all those drugs are psychosomatic. And when you take them, the signals that they trigger through TV and through radio and through music, they work psychosomatically through those pharmaceuticals. And they create permanent and lifelong strategical changes in your brain. And we've seen it with the epidemic of the specific group of shooters who all come from a specific thing, who have all taken certain kinds of medicines. They all have certain kind of brain issues, and they all followed the same kind of propaganda and energy. So it's factual. Nothing made from pharmaceutical is better than the stuff we have on this planet. Everything that they can solve in the hospital, mankind was already solving on dirt roads, in dirt towns, all across this country, with a doctor with a little black bag. And then all of a sudden, the Rockefellers get rich selling pharmaceuticals, and there's no more doctors with black bags. There's just hospitals controlled by the conglomerate. You don't see a problem with that? World's gone mad. See, all this stuff is proof the world's gone mad. And the world has gone mad because mankind thinks he's in control of everything. Mankind thinks he can manipulate the entire world until he destroys it. The only epidemic on the planet is mankind and its greed. I'll leave you with that. Monday night with the Revradchad, late edition. World's gone mad. Thanks for coming. It's good to have you.
The blood was still wet and the crime scene taped.
The blood was still wet and the crime scene ached all around. Every minute of the day. All right, I'm the Revradchad. Peace out. Love you. God loves you. Use your mind. Think. Live positive. Have peace in your heart. Allow others to live their own life. All right. Catch you next time.